Hello everybody and welcome to this tutorial. Today I will show you how you can actually save your capture file, how you can output it to a PCAP file and then later on open it elsewhere. This will be your regular practice if you're capturing files with wireshark command line interface, primarily because you'll be doing a capture in an environment that doesn't have any sort of graphical interface of whatsoever, and it can be a bit tricky or a bit difficult to analyze packets in such a way. Therefore your general practice will be, okay, let's save it to a file, either mail that file or take it to a USB or something of a kind, save it to a USB, and then later on bring it to an environment where you actually have a GUI where you can analyze it with ease, where you have all those coloring options, where it is a lot simpler. But in the later tutorials I will also show you how you can actually analyze and filter through a file with T-Shark, with command line interface. It can be a bit tricky, but as I said, however, sometimes you just don't have the time or you don't have the option to take it elsewhere, and you are simply forced to do it. In any case, without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and type in T-Shark-I to specify my interface, so P8P1, my wired interface, space -W, and here I will type in my output file to be file for writing. However, it can be a bit tricky, especially in Linux, Unix-like environments. Here's what I'll show you in a moment what I mean by it. So if I specify some random directory, let's go into home, which is my home directory, and then let's go into user chronic slash, and I don't know, I'm just gonna go ahead and name this file test cap. Keep in mind that you do need to give it an extension, so pcap. As I mentioned in the previous tutorials, pcap is the file type that Wireshark associates with. And if I press enter, even though I am root, even though I have all the privileges within the system, I can do whatever I want. With root, I can even change some of the key components of the system, which can eventually end up messing with it. I mean, practically rendering the system inoperable. I'm just demonstrating this to tell you that I have maximum permissions. There is nothing I cannot do with root. But even so, if I run tshark command as it is now and press enter, I'm gonna get this. tshark, the file to which the capture would be saved, home chronic test cap.pcap, could not be opened. Permission denied. Now, as I said a moment ago, root has all the permissions that you can imagine. It has the right to access and to write to any portion of the system. However, if you run tshark like so, for security reason, the program itself will prevent you, and you will not be able to create such a file. Therefore, what we generally tend to do, what is considered good practice, you go ahead and type in /tmp backslash again testcap.pcap. So you have a tmp folder where pretty much anything can be written. There are no execution privileges there. So pretty much anything that you download from the net or something of a kind that could potentially be dangerous is stored there for security reasons. And if I press enter now, look, excellent. I am now conducting a live capture and everything that I have captured will go into this file here. Now, since I am not doing anything on the net, you can see that I only have 2 packets. So this number here, this is a very good indication. I mean, it tells you that it is actually doing something. You know that something is happening. I'm just going to go ahead and generate at least some sort of traffic so that we wouldn't okay, open up my browser, press reload, and that should do the trick. Yep, there we go. Immediately I have 348 packets. So just by reloading the home page on my browser, I got 300 and let's just circle it to 350 packets. With that, I'm just going to go ahead and cancel the capture process. Control C is the default key in Linux environments within a terminal to actually stop any running processes that are running within that terminal in its foreground. Anyway, to follow this up, let's just open up Wireshark's graphical interface. So Wireshark, type in Wireshark, open it up as root so that we would have the necessary permissions to run it. And it can, every time you start it, this is a bit of a painful procedure, especially with the loading time. It can be a bit annoying, but eventually you get used to it. Sometimes it goes really fast, sometimes it goes really slow. I have no idea why that is so. In all likelihood, now at this point of time, because I have a recording software in the background, so it is simply eating up my CPU. But in case something of a kind is happening, I have left it for a reason. You can always go File. So let's just go ahead and it has opened it just as I say this. Never mind. I just want to show it to you anyway. So I have another terminal opened here, and I'm just going to type in the command top. So in case it's running slow or something of a kind, you can immediately type in command top, T-O-P, within the terminal, and you can see what on earth is eating up your memory, RAM, or your CPU, and you can see that VLC is currently eating up 120. You can see the CPU consumption here. That's a bit ridiculous for VLC, but oh well. I am recording this in high definition, so it stands to reason that it is so. But that does not matter to you. What matters to you is that if Wireshark runs slow or something of a kind, immediately open up another tab, type in top, and see what is going on. If there is nothing going on, okay, then basically it's your computer and Wireshark is too heavy for it or something of a kind. But if you see some other processes that are consuming your resources, that are consuming your computer's resources, such as RAM and CPU time, you can kill them, and in such a way you can accelerate the opening up. You can accelerate Wireshark. Anyway, now we're not going to go ahead and do things that we did before. We're not going to select an interface because there's no point, as this is the first time that we are actually not conducting a live capture. Rather, instead, we are analyzing what we have captured before. So you see, I've already done a test run for this, but here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and click on File. Straight away, just press Open, or I could have just pressed Control O. That is a shortcut for this. Go ahead and navigate to the temp folder, which is under sorry, not under root, file system. Let's see, there we go, tmp, and there we go, testcap.pcap. Open it up. Should open up any moment. Yep, there we go. You have a ton load of traffic here. You can see down there that we have 350 packets, and now we can apply display filters here and see what sort of traffic do we want to get. I mean, even though it's not a live capture, it will be automatically, what is displayed will automatically be updated by just typing in the filter. So DNS, sorry, not cap, this is case sensitive, DNS, press enter, and you can see that it immediately trims everything else away and just leaves DNS traffic here for you to see and analyze. Now we will deal with this subject more a bit later on, but for the time being, I just want to show you something else. Now suppose you don't have a Wireshark program running and you think, oh well, I mean, I can just open up a file with my, I don't know, text editor or something of a kind. Let me just show you what will happen. So let me just show you how the file actually looks like if you open it up with some sort of a text editor or something of a kind. I mean, you can still get bits and pieces from it, but not really advisable, as you won't really get any useful information from it. It's going to be a binary file, as you'll see soon enough. So I'm just going to go ahead and type in less /tmp /testcap pcap and press enter. So let me just explain this. Less is generally a command used to list a text file of some sort, and or to list pretty much any sort of file, to open it up and to give you a preview of it, but you cannot edit anything. It's fantastic because it's a safeguard against accidentally editing files that you don't really want to be tampering with. This is not the case here, but it's for ease of use and for simplicity's sake, I've decided to use it. So as you can see, immediately after I've tried to open it, it gives me a path to it, and it says maybe a binary file. See it anyway. So yes, just type in Y. That's all you need to do there. And just take a look at how it actually looks like. This is ridiculous. So you can still see some of the packets. You can see this part here. This is readable. It says a Linux and FC20 x8664. Again, it is repeated here. This sort of thing is sent on regular basis, so you can see it pretty much throughout this file. But here we can actually see some of the websites that we've visited. So it says DuckDuckGo, and there's no dot, it's just com. I suppose this should be a dot or something of a kind. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because you will absolutely never be reading a file like this. It would just be ridiculous and useless. But I just wanted to show you that you do need Wireshark to open these files up. I mean, that's where they excel, that's where they're best read, and open them up with it. Anyway, that would be it as far as the file output is concerned. I will continue to deal with the subject of arguments that can be passed to T-Shark command line interface. And so, I bid you farewell till next time.